My marinade here with the beef now. I took it out of the fridge, and now what we're gonna do is we're going to turn on the stove to medium heat. We're gonna turn it on to medium heat. Make sure. Leave it there. Now, as it gets hot, we're just going to take out our tongs. Take our tongs, if I can find it. I need the tongs. So now I need the tongs to pick up the meat from the marinade and cook it. And then after I do that, I can show you how to cook it. Just get it hot enough so that it sizzles when you touch the meat. You don't want it to get too hot, or else it might burn the meat. So try to get. See, you hear that sizzle? See, it's sizzling. So now I'm gonna take your meat from your marinade. Ooh, it smells. If you could smell this, it would smell delicious. So you're gonna take your stuff and just cook it. In fact, you don't have to. You're just gonna place it on there. You don't have to lay it flat on the pan. Meanwhile, you're gonna pour some of your marinade onto it. So now I poured the marinade into the meat. Just gonna cook the meat with the marinade. See? It's a nice mellow sizzle. Look at this. Beautiful. And meanwhile, you're gonna also, I forgot to tell you, before you do that, you have to add your onions too. I forgot to tell you, you have to add vinegar to your marinade too. So I'm just gonna cook this until it's finished. I'm gonna show you when it's done. Now look at that. I added some of the onions too. And that's what makes this dish also famous, because everyone likes to eat onions with the meat. Just be sure to wear an apron. I'm going to show you when I'm done with it. As your marinade cooks, oh yeah, I also said medium high. As your marinade cooks, you want to add more meat and more marinade so that you cook it more. As I told you, I'll cut to an end. I also added already added half of the marinade bag. I'm just going to cook it. It's already good, and I'm just going to cook it half at a time. As you know, you may want to check all the pieces of meat because you don't want any of them to be overcooked. When the end product should be a little moist, but not too moist. A little dry, but not too dry. It should be just right. No rarity at all, though, because you don't want that. Because these are thin. And that's what also makes them delicious, is the nice caramelized onions when you cook it. It's time to add my final ingredient, which is a very common ingredient in these kind of recipes, which is a